Do I have to declare my pension lump sum? Okay, by the end of today's video, you'll have a clear understanding of what you do and don't need to declare on your UK pensions, and also some other really important points I think that you should consider. If at any point throughout the video you want to have a conversation with myself or one of our senior financial advisors, you can book in below via the link. You can book in directly to our Calendly to find a time and a date which is most suitable for you for a free initial consultation or discovery meeting, as we're now starting to call them. Okay, so to break it down, the first 25% or your pension commencement lump sum from your pension pot is tax-free. Thus, it does not need to be declared because it is tax-free. You only need to declare income which is taxable, okay? So let me break that down for you. Say you have a defined contribution scheme which is worth £100,000, okay? On your 55th birthday or 57 from 2028, you are allowed to take your 25% pension commencement lump sum from that pension. So £100,000, you could take £25,000 as your PCLS pension commencement lump sum on your 55th or 57th birthday from 2028, and that will be tax-free. As such, no need to declare that to HMRC or anything like that. It's already done automatically, basically through your SIP or through your defined contribution provider. When you complete that drawdown, the UK government's not stupid. They don't just let you say to your pension provider, oh yeah, it's my 25%, I'll have it tax-free. No, they're not stupid. It's all done automatically inside the system. The remaining 75% of your pension pot though, when you draw that down, will be classified as taxable income. So obviously you'll be paying a tax rate in the UK. If you've gone over your personal allowance and you have income over 50, 150, obviously you have the different rates of tax which you have to pay on that. So really important to understand, first 25% tax-free, the remaining 75% after that is always taxed. So this brings up a really important question for investors. If you have an asset that you are going to be taxed on to spend that money after the first 25%, what is most valuable for you to spend first? Should you draw down your ISAs and your GIAs and use capital in your current account before using your pension pot? Arguably yes, because there isn't going to be any tax to pay on your ISA. UK pension pots are free from UK inheritance tax. So if you have money and you want to pass money on to your family and beneficiaries, typically speaking, withdrawing the 75% amount, paying tax on it, then having it inside your estate is going to be the worst situation to pass it on to your family and beneficiaries. However, say you were to keep that 75% in your pension pot over the course of time, you could use your other sources of capital, use your pension pot last, ironically. Going into a little bit of tax planning here, but which obviously we're not qualified to do with financial advice here at Cameron James, but it's basic understanding. You should always be using any non-taxable funds first, particularly with inheritance tax in the UK. Another idea though, a lot of clients seem to think that with the pension commencement lump sum, the 25% which doesn't need to be declared, they seem to think that it's all or nothing. And oh, I'm 55 now, so I'm going to take my 25% tax-free lump sum. I'm like, okay, why? So say they have a £500,000 pension pot, that's £125,000. I'm like, oh great, like what's the plan? What are you going to do with it? They're like, oh, it's tax-free, so I'm going to take it. And I'm like, yeah, but your monthly expenditure is £10,000. You have £150,000 in a current account. Why would you take the money? Oh no, but yeah, it's tax-free. Yeah, but it'll be tax-free when you're 56, like it's going to be tax-free later. You don't have to take it now. Why not let that money grow? Say you have £500,000 and it grows by 10% in a year. That's £550,000. Your 25% tax-free is now based on the £550,000. So you've gained another 25% of that £50,000, so £12,500. So for a lot of clients, you should delay, if possible, taking your pension benefits because by the law of averages, markets will go up over the course of time. Now, obviously, say you're 55 and you say, oh, I'm going to take on my 56th birthday. Of course, markets could have gone down by over that period and your 25% could be less. But generally speaking, over the course of time, markets grow 5, 10, 15, 20 years, 100 years. It's very difficult to find an equity portfolio which hasn't grown. So that's an important point. The second important point is clients also seem to think that they cannot break it down. And again, it's kind of like the all or nothing thing, that you don't have to take all of your 25% amount at one time. So say you have a pension pot, £500,000, £500,000. you have £125,000 allowance that you could take as the 25% amount. But you might say to me, but Dominic, I only need 10. I want to do a conservatory, or I want to do this, or I want to give some money to my children, whatever it might be. To get that £10,000, you could crystallise inside your pension pot £40,000, okay? 10%, 25% of that, £10,000 would then be taxed, 25% tax-free for you to withdraw. The remaining 75%, so the £30,000, remains inside your pension pot, your DC, your SIP, whatever you're working with us on, and it can stay there and remain invested until you want to draw that down. So it's very interesting how you can use the 25%, but to clarify again, all 25% amounts do not need to be declared for tax. And you will know this instantaneously from working with your financial advisor. Even your SIP provider will tell you when you're making withdrawal. They will have a track record and a history. Even if you completed pension transfer from here to here, they're not stupid. They pass over all the information. So when you go to make a withdrawal, they will tell you what you have left of your 25% amount. And if your pension provider is saying that you're not going to be taxed on anything, that's basically the golden rule. You do not need to declare anything if you're not being taxed on it, generally by your pension provider, because the 25% they will allow to go out tax-free, and then they will retain the tax on the initial, on the 75% that goes out. So when it comes to declaring as well, it's not as if you receive the 75% and then you need to go and pay tax on it. No, that will be deducted at source from your UK pension provider. Guys, I hope this has been useful for you. Let me know in the comment section below any experience you've had of doing this, and what you need to declare, how you declare it, etc. I look forward to speaking with you as always, and take care of your UK pension assets.